October is Black History Month, and at Singing Mama's Choir, we've decided to shine a light on some black female composers who may have gone under the radar. During this term, I've chosen to share a song with my choir, which is called Trouble's So Hard, written by a lady called Vera Hall. Now, you might think you haven't heard of Vera Hall before, but have a listen to this.
Ooh, Lord, ain't my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lord, ain't my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
So, that voice is probably familiar. That song was sampled by Moby in the year 2000 in his song Natural Blues, and I remember it really well, but I never knew who she was. So who is Vera Hall? Well, she was a lady that was born in 1902 in Livingston, Alabama, and in 1937 she wrote that song. She also recorded a lot of early blues and folk songs. In fact, they're the best example that there are of those songs from that area at that time. So her recordings are vital for our understanding of music history in America. The sound comes from deep within her when she sings, from a source of golden light, otherwise hidden, and falls directly upon your ear like sunlight. This is the voice that lent wings to American Negro music, for it combines the subtle rhythm and playful sensuality of Africa with the ringing, bell-like fullness of the best European singing. At the time when Nora told us this story, she was working as a cook and washerwoman in Alabama. She'd already given my father a fine collection of songs for the Library of Congress collection when I invited her to appear in a concert in New York City. It was the first time she'd been more than a few miles away from her home place, the first time she'd lived on terms of equality with white people. It was also the first large audience she'd ever faced. Nora stepped on stage and charmed her listeners. She led the conversation at my table, and she moved through New York cocktail parties like some Polynesian queen. In the story that followed, Vera Hall made very clear the sources of her extraordinary voice and her charm. Like other working-class Southern Negroes, she'd faced the anger and shame of her parents, and the rejection and anger of the whites, and had resolved these problems and had somehow emerged with a calm, loving and sunny personality. It's from singers like Vera Hall that all of us who love folk music in America have everything to learn. Her performances were all graced with dignity and with love. Her sense of timing and beat were perfection itself. We don't know so much about Vera Hall's personal life. We do know that her mother was a slave, and her father used to sing her spiritual songs throughout her childhood. And we know that Vera ended up being a cook and a washerwoman. However, when she was discovered by Alan Lomax, among other people, she was invited to perform at Columbia University and a few performances in New York City as well. The sad thing is that she died destitute and she's actually buried in an unmarked grave. However, she was recognised by the Women's Hall of Fame in Alabama, and also by Moby himself, who had a lot of success using her voice. So he paid that back by donating money to make a memorial to her in her hometown of Livingston. So we feel like it's really important that the mystery of Vera Hall is acknowledged, and actually that she is as important as prominent blues musicians like Leadbelly. She is a mystery. We're not quite sure if she wrote some of those songs or if she just recorded them from songs that she heard her community singing. What we do know also is that Vera Hall was a very staunch Christian. However, she loved the blues, and the blues were considered very inappropriate for a Christian to be singing. But she said that sometimes when she was in the kitchen and no one was around, she'd start singing the blues and it made her feel good. So we're grateful to Vera for the legacy that she's left, and we feel like it's really important to acknowledge her. And each time that we sing this song with our choirs, we'll give a little nod to Vera. I think it's a really powerful song to sing, and it becomes even more powerful for me now I understand the context of where it comes from. So the version that I've been sharing with my choirs during this term is an arrangement by Helen Yeomans. And I got in touch with Helen and asked her if it was okay to make a recording of it and share it with you all. So this is Helen Yeomans' arrangement of Vera Hall's Troubles So Hard. Oh Lordy, now troubles so hard. Oh Lordy, now troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Lord only knows my troubles so hard. Tell you, Lord only knows my troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lordy, now my troubles so hard. Tell you, Lord, Lordy, now my troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lord, my troubles so hard. Oh Lord, my troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lordy, now my troubles so hard. Tell you, Lordy, now my troubles so hard. My troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lord, my troubles so hard. Oh Lord, my troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lordy, my troubles so hard. My troubles so hard. Lordy, my troubles so hard. My troubles so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lordy, now my troubles so hard. My troubles